Hey all you happy campers, it's Josh with Great American RV, and today we're going to be showcasing for you the all-new 2026 Heartland Prowler, straight from Heartland and Jayco. We'll get to that in a minute. Come with us today to check it out. All right, we're going to kick it off here in the front. As you'll see, that this RV is outfitted with the manual tongue jack. And why do we have this power tongue jack sitting next to it? Because I wanted to mention something to you today. At any one of our Great American RV locations, we have a fully outfitted parts and service department that can provide you the opportunity to be able to upfit your RV, be customized to whatever your RV and camping needs might be to make sure your camping experience is the best it can be. So going over here, we can transition into the single propane tank behind it. It's going to operate the tankless water heater, which we'll get to a little bit later on, and your stovetop and your heating system. Also conveniently located behind that is going to be your battery, which we'll put on here for you at Great American RV. And also something that you don't typically get in this price point is going to be a battery disconnect. That way you can disconnect that power from the RV so that when you are storing it or you leave it in your driveway, things like that, you're not draining the power down and you can keep the longevity of that battery. And one of the big things that I'll show you a little bit more of in a little bit, but I'll kind of compare some things that you get on this one to others is you're going to get the Murphy bed, which I'll show you in a little while. But typically when you get a Murphy bed, you don't get a lot of pass-through storage. So Heartland was able to accomplish for you an ample amount of pass-through storage so you can be able to put your camping chairs, any other extras that you might bring along with you camping, stuff to be able to outfit the outside of the RV and use to have fun. You have plenty of storage here, which like I said, you typically wouldn't get with a Murphy bed option. Even on this unit we're going to be looking at today, again, like I said, is the 1802MBS. So it's going to be a smaller profile unit, lighter weight. I'll get to the weight here in a minute. But typically when you go to something small like this, you got to sacrifice a lot of stuff in our business. Well, you didn't have to do that on the Heartland. They still gave you the step above steps that will flip into the door. You don't have the accordion style, so these are a lot easier for you to be able to move around and fold up into the door and be able to close that away and shut that there. Clean them off a lot easier, better for longevity purposes. And they're really lightweight. This is on a gas strut, this door, so it's easy to open. And it's not ever going to get in the way of your awning as that comes out. This is a fully electric awning that covers the majority of this side of the RV, so you have plenty of camping space out here. Like I said, it's on a gas strut, so the door automatically stops to not get in the way of your awning. Coming back here, you have your 110 plugs, your exhaust for your heater. And I want to show you something right here in the wheel well that a lot of manufacturers will skimp on because most consumers aren't looking for it or thinking about it. Underneath this wheel well is going to be metal outfitted underneath here, and you might ask yourself, Josh, what does that even mean? So they put a plate of metal inside of the wheel well. Well, and you might think that's pretty normal and it should be that way, and you're right, it should be that way. But a lot of manufacturers will skimp on that, save a few bucks here and there. And the bad thing is, if God forbid you have a blowout, that's going to help protect that. And also, as those tires rotate down the road, they're going to kick up water, right? And what we don't want to happen is kick up water to a raw surface like a piece of wood or something that could cause your RV damage over time. So Heartland thought above and beyond and helped protect your longevity and want to keep you camping and using your RV for the fun that it was intended for. So coming back here, you give you an extra spot of storage. You can never have enough storage on an RV. A lot of folks are looking for the best of both worlds. I want something small, Josh, and I want a lot of storage. Well, this is what we got for you today. So plenty of extra storage back here. And as I mentioned earlier, a lot of times when you go smaller on an RV or have an aluminum-sided camper, you're having to make sacrifices. You don't have to sacrifice. If you want to take those long showers, you want the continuous hot water, they put the Suburban tankless hot water heater on this one. So you have that endless hot water if you need it, and if you want to take those longer showers, give your kids a bath, things like that. Located underneath of this is the Quick LP Connect. So all you need is the Quick LP Connect hose. That'll hook up to your griddles, your grills, maybe even outside heater. That way you can hang out here underneath the awning, looking out your campsite or over that beautiful place that you might be staying at, or you might be at the game cooking up hot dogs and hamburgers for your friends, having a great time. So you have that flexibility. Coming around to the back, Did give you a spare tire back here. A couple things on the back side of this RV. You have kind of creativity and flexibility when it comes with this rear bumper. A lot of folks still want the rear bumper because things can be mounted on that. You could put a flip out grill on this. You could put a bike rack, electric bike rack, scooters. I mean, whatever you can think of, kayak rack, you name it. The possibilities are endless when you have this bumper back here to be able to mount things on there for it. So a couple other things to mention. This is your potable water fill. So this is where you would fill your fresh tank if you want to take water with you when you go camping. A couple gallons while you're going down the road if you want to be able to use that. They did outfit the back of the RV to be ladder prepped. A lot of consumers not necessarily getting on the roof of an RV of this size or this type, but if you want that flexibility and want to be able to do that, they set it up for you to be able to do so. It is backup camera prepped also. Another thing to mention when it comes to the roof, thing that Heartland did is it's not TPO any longer. They did change it to a PVC roof membrane with a limited lifetime warranty on that. It's not going to disintegrate over time like that TPO roof membrane did. So it's more durable and better for longevity purposes. So we'll keep going around to the other side here. All of your dump valves are centrally located in the back here. Color-coded handles with gray and black, and they even label them at the top. You have the cable TV hookup connection there. If you're at a campground and they do have cable TV, you can hook up to that. This is going to be the alternate connection for water. So this is city water. So when you do go to a campground and they have water supply, you can hook your water hose up to that, and water goes in, water goes out, very similar to your home. There is some low point drains if you ever want to drain your RV. Especially when you're winterizing, things like that. Those are the things that you don't really think about, and if an RV has it or not. You don't have to think about it on this one. It does have it. This is going to be a single slide unit. In the inside, you'll see what's located inside that slide when we get inside. But hey, like I said, mentioning of storage, any opportunity for Heartland to give you storage on the exterior, they did, which typically on a unit of this size you don't. So they gave you some extra storage here on the exterior. You can put your power cord in there, easy access. We're not that far from it to be able to hook that up when you're camping. So I want to run back into something I mentioned earlier, and that was the weight of the RV. So like I said, people are wanting lightweight. They want bang for their buck. They want good quality, and they want all those things wrapped up in a nice clean package, and that's what we've got. So this unit, how it weighs today is going to be just shy of 4,200 pounds with a gross weight of just under 5,000 pounds at 4,995 pounds. So that's fully outfitted out on the interior for full capacity. And you got to think, you know, that's about 800 pounds of goods that you could take with you. You're talking plates, your chairs, all your camping necessities. 800 pounds is quite a bit. So plenty of room and space, so this can be towed by most vehicles these days, any smaller vehicles, to keep you and your family camping. And you will see this is going to be predominantly based around a family style of camping. So let's come on inside and we'll check out all the interior features. All right, here we are on the inside, and I'm going to kind of speak to what you would typically get in a model and floor plan of this size and this quality level, and what you get today in the Heartland Prowler 1802. So one thing you would typically get in a model of this size or in this class is single over single bunks, and that's not what you get here. So you get these double over double bunks, which is plenty of space. You even get the extra storage space underneath, and each bunk has its own individual light that can be turned on with the push of a finger. And each one also has USB and USBC plugs for those kids to be able to use their tablets, iPads, things like that. And then in the back, you're going to notice something that a lot of people don't mention is there is an emergency exit. There is a downside to everything that we incur, and God forbid anything bad ever happened. They did outfit it with an exit window. That way you can be able to use all those safety features that you might need and hopefully not need, right? But they are there in that case of emergency. Over here, you're going to have your own bathroom. It is going to be outfitted with its own foot flush toilet, big shower. Something you typically don't get in this type of model is a big shower. You usually got those little hard to step in bathtubs, and plenty of storage on the left side there. Be able to put your towels, all your linens, things of that nature. And also another thing you don't typically get in this type of model is its own sink in the bathroom. And that might kind of sound goofy to you, and I get it. Most of the time, you got to be able to wash your hands in the same sink that's in your kitchen area, brush your teeth in the kitchen. No, you don't have to do that in this model. You got your own sink in the bathroom, and something for you to be looking out if you are looking for a model like this, right? And then coming out here into the living space, this is what's going to be the slide and what you saw in the slide from the exterior. A big U-shaped dinette. When you're out making memories with your family and camping, having a great time, you want to be able to have a common space. And God forbid it's a rainy day and you're having to sit in here playing cards or whatever have you, or just having dinner at night, you have this big usable space on the U-shaped dinette and common space. This does drop down if your kids decide to bring some friends, or if you got a big dog that you want to put on its own bed, you can drop that table down and make that into a big sleeping space if you want to. In the back, I mentioned the Murphy bed. So you've got some more common area seating space here to be able to sit down and lounge. And then you also have these cup drop downs here. So you have some common area space to be able to have a conversation with the people sitting at the dinette, or if you got some friends over, whatever that case may be. And then this will drop down pretty easily. And then your Murphy bed will flip down, and that is going to be a queen size bed in the Murphy. So, and even on both sides, they outfitted it with good hanging closet space and good storage. And one thing that's really important to note that a lot of people aren't really looking for or thinking about is when it comes with the outfitting of the interior of the RV. Heartland uses solid and real wood cabinetry, doors, faces, and drawers, which we'll get to in the kitchen in a minute. And instead of using some type of composite that's going to expand and contract and heat and kind of flake over time. So you got real hardwood, which is good for longevity purposes. So every area of storage is used and utilized in this RV. Even more storage underneath there for you. And then kind of panning over to the kitchen, I mentioned you have your own sink for this kitchen area. And as I said, you got the solid hardwood drawers that are in here instead of that composite or plastic or any other type of man-made product. So those will last well over time. More storage underneath, more storage up top. Probably getting tired of me saying the word storage at this point. Residential style fixtures, good sink to be able to use. This is a camper that you're probably going to use on the weekends here and there, making some memories with your family, even up to a week. And so you got the 2-burner stove if you need, overhead microwave, GEAC in here. It's a 13.5. That's all you need in a space like this. There are 15 KACs out there. You don't need something of that size in this type of square footage. Remember, I said this is about a 4,200-pound camper, so it's going to be able to cool this space very well and very efficiently. This is going to be your 10 cubic foot refrigerator. All electric refrigerator, so plenty of space in there. Like I said, for a family of 4 or 5, whatever you may bring along, or maybe you're just a couple that needs some extra storage and you can use the bunks for that. But you got plenty of fridge space, plenty of freezer space. You're going to be taking less trips to the gas station for those things in the market. All right, this concludes our 2026 Heartland Prowler 1802MBS travel trailer. And if you remember, I mentioned Heartland and Jayco. And what does that mean? Heartland and Jayco have partnered together under one umbrella. And what does that mean for you as a consumer? Jayco has been in business for over 55 years with proven success in sales, in service, and quality. And so we're able to pass that on to you as a consumer and for you to be able to make memories one weekend at a time here with Great American RV. We'll see you soon.